and then I had to go and break my leg.
I think we ought to put them in this side of the barn here.
Yeah.
And block everything off.
Yeah.
And because then we have that door we can go straight into it.
Yeah.
And then we can probably block off a pretty good sized area and just put a couple of pieces of script, a couple of pieces of plywood up. Mm-hmm. So they can't get either under this side or out that side.
Yeah. Don't we still have that thing that you made that has like the 3 sides?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I got that. I got more plywood in there.
So we can make that work real good.
Absolutely.
I like that.
20 minutes we can have that set up.
All right. Well, let me just finish these dishes and I'll help you out. Hey y'all, and welcome back to the farmhouse. I'm so glad that you decided to stop by and hang out with us today. So we just got done eating breakfast. I made those homemade sweet potato hash browns. They turned out really, really yummy. I've actually never done that before, but I really like the way they turned out. I'm just cleaning up the kitchen now from breakfast, and we have a pretty good day that we're gonna have today. Tyler has messaged a lady on Facebook that is selling some 1-year-old hens. And so we're going to look into going and getting those. We have a spot out in the barn that we're going to put them for a little bit because we don't want to put them with our current flock right now. We want to gradually introduce them to each other so that way they are nice and don't hurt each other. But we're also starting seeds today. It is gorgeous outside, so I'll probably start those seeds a little bit later this afternoon. So I'm excited to bring you along for the entire day. Hey, Pumpkin. Kitty, kitty.
She's gonna ignore you.
Yep, that's what all my animals do. Ah! Say hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hello. Oh, get back. You gotta stay in here. Got a treat for you. Come here. Oh, goodness. We gotta smash the eggshells. That way they don't think they can eat their own eggs. Moses, are you having fun? All right, y'all, so we got these girls home in a new little spot. Now, when we talked to the lady on Facebook, she said that these hens were molting, and that's where like they lose some of their feathers and they grow new feathers. Well, now that we got them home, that's not really what we're seeing is going on. Pretty much what we think happened is that all these hens were in a very small, tight space together. They didn't have room to move around and eat, and so usually when that happens, they start pecking at each other. And so that's kind of what it looks like happened. So I'm actually really glad that we got these girls so we can get them in a new home. We can let them recover, get really healthy. They'll lay us some beautiful brown eggs. So there we go. Y'all, we are so excited to get the 2023 garden season started. Our neighbors were so kind and let us borrow their tiller so we could till up the chicken yard, which is going to be our garden space. I think in the last farm update video, I told y'all that we were going to be moving the chickens out of the chicken yard for the spring and summer, and we're just going to rotate them around the property. And tilling up this ground made such an amazing difference, and it's definitely going to help us in the planting process and make it so much easier. Y'all, we were absolutely blessed with the best neighbors. So y'all, it has been a long day. It's been a good day, but a long day. So I'm just now sitting down to plant the seeds. You may be able to see behind me right in that little spot right there is where we have the new chickens hanging out. But I do want to show you the seeds I'm starting. I consider myself a newbie when it comes to gardening. Tyler and I have had gardens in the past, and I'll tell y'all about that in a minute. But this is really, we consider our first major big garden. So for some of the seeds we need to starting with the herbs, is I have some English lavender. We're gonna do some thyme and some rosemary. Now it also says, I think I'm gonna plant these in containers, maybe in like the like the galvanized buckets. I have some of those hanging up by the chicken coop, like by the gate. And I'm thinking about putting some of those in there. And it said that rosemary and thyme, you can put 3 plants per container, and then one plant of lavender per container. So I'm just gonna start 1 lavender, well maybe 2 lavender, just in case one doesn't actually come up. And then we're gonna do 3 of the thyme and the rosemary. This year I'm planting 5 different varieties of tomatoes. Now these seeds are a little old, not super old, but a little bit, and so we're kind of crossing our fingers that they will germinate. So y'all say a prayer.
How old are they?
I think we bought these in BB. So like 2 years, so they might be too old.
We're supposed to keep them on.
I messed up. So this year I'm planting, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different varieties of tomatoes. Now these seeds are, I think they're about 2 years old. So we're taking a gamble on whether or not they're going to germinate. If they don't, Hopefully we'll just go get some more seeds, or maybe this year we may just have to go get some plant starts. Tyler was talking to our neighbor earlier today, and he said that his garden is always beautiful. Him and his wife, their garden is beautiful. And so they say that every year, all the seeds that you would have to start before you just put them in the ground, they always just go buy the starts already. So I'm pretty confident that if for some reason these don't germinate, we can just go get some and they'll work just fine. But the tomatoes I'm doing, one is a Homestead tomato. We're going to do some Roma tomatoes. We're going to do this beefsteak tomato. This one I think is going to be really cool if we can get it to do it right. But it's called a Brandywine tomato. I think those look really cool. And then we're going to do this meaty steak sandwich tomato. So last but certainly not least is we have peppers. We're gonna do one big row of sweet peppers, and then in between some flowers on the front of the garden, we're gonna do hot peppers. So the sweet peppers I have, it's called a Carnival blend, which it looks like it's gonna be either some Orange Sun, California Wonder, Golden California Wonder, Purple Beauty, and Diamond. And then we have a hot salsa pepper blend. Let's see, we're gonna have possibly some Anaheim, some Hungarian wax, long slim red cayenne, so that's probably really hot, some jalapeno, and I don't know how to pronounce that last one. I'll put it on the screen. While I plant these pepper seeds, thought I would tell you all the story of our previous gardens. So when Tyler and I first got married, we lived in a little apartment, and that apartment had like a little patio, like a concrete patio, right next to the front door. And so we went and got lots and lots of containers and we planted squash. I think we planted a tomato plant, bell peppers. Was there anything else we planted? That might have been it. But it didn't do so great. It did okay. Like nothing really died or anything, but the plants didn't grow very big. And I think it was just because the containers they were in were too small. But it was still fun. Like I think my first little tomato that I got, it looked like a cherry tomato, but it was not a cherry variety. And that's why it was so funny. And then when we moved from the apartment, we moved into a little house, and it had a really nice big backyard. And so Tyler built us a big, just like one big huge rectangle raised bed, and we planted it there, and it was doing so good. And then I had to go and break my leg. So, and at that time Tyler was a truck driver where he was only home 2 to 3 days a week. And so it was really hard to take care of that garden. It was a beautiful garden, and it would have done absolutely amazing, in my opinion, if I wouldn't have broken my leg. But those are the stories, and it's kind of funny to look back on them now and just think about where we've come from and how beautiful this garden's gonna be. Y'all, I think that's gonna do it for me today. We are hungry, and we're about to go inside and cook dinner. I'm not gonna film that, just because it's an experiment, and if it's any good, I'll let you know. But thank y'all so much for just going about with us today and just kind of seeing what a normal, semi-normal Saturday looks like here at the farmhouse. But I'll see y'all next time. Bye.